Ladies and gentlemen, members of the jury, members of the Roll the Tape film crew, Jaron Boots Ennis will compete this weekend in a unification bout against Stanionis. Both of their titles will be on the line. Winner takes all. You know what I find interesting about all of this? Is that Boots Ennis was widely criticized by content creators on YouTube, by boxing fans, by some retired boxers, journalists, and even reporters. And they claimed that Boots was ducking Virgil Ortiz. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember when people kept saying that Boots Ennis ducked Virgil Ortiz because he declined an offer that was made to him by Turki Alashiki to go to another country across the pond to compete on the undercard against Virgil Ortiz at 154 pounds. Y'all remember that? Do y'all remember when I told you all that Boots did not duck Virgil Ortiz, and it would be foolish and unwise for Boots to accept any offer to fight Virgil Ortiz under those conditions? Y'all remember that? Well, this fight proves it. And I say this fight proves it because Boots is doing exactly what he wants to do with his professional career. And what he wants to do is to accomplish a goal that he set out from the very beginning of him entering into the sweepstakes of being a contender for a world title. He told y'all time and time again that his desire was to become undisputed at 147 pounds. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember when I told you all that people were being so critical of Boots for not fighting Virgil Ortiz because he wanted to accomplish a goal and fulfill a desire to become undisputed. But at the same time, when Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford had that very desire, neither two of those guys were criticized like some people were criticizing Boots because they had the same desire, because they had the same goal to become undisputed in the welterweight division by capturing all four of the major world titles. But they weren't getting criticized. In fact, they were being praised for it by the same people on YouTube that was criticizing Boots. I told you all about a phone booth why it would be foolish and unwise for Boots to go over to another country to fight on an undercard against Virgil Ortiz at 154 pounds, opposed to fulfilling his dream and accomplishing his goal, especially as a new promoter and a businessman with a new promoter in a collaboration with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom. I mean, think about it like this. I told y'all this before, but I have to reiterate this. Boots Ennis would have accepted the terms to fight Virgil Ortiz in another country on the undercard when He just got finished competing not once, but twice in our hometown of the great city of Philadelphia and selling out in both of those events back to back within a 4-month time span. If that's not good business, I don't know what is. He fought within 4 months. Go back, do the math. He fought in July in Philadelphia, his hometown, my hometown, in Philly, right? At the Wells Fargo Arena, his first professional fight, headlining at an arena. Then come back, spin the block, bust a U-ey, as we say in Philly, he bust a U-turn. Went back 4 months later in November, all this in the same year now, 2024, go back to Wells Fargo Arena now. The Wells Fargo Center is an arena, sell it out again. And some of you who don't know 98% of the people you listen to on YouTube don't know the business box. But the bottom line is, wanted him to go to another country and fight on an undercard? What church they do this at? Where they do that at? No, he's a main event attraction now. And now he's going to Atlantic City, New Jersey. On the East Coast, he's still semi-home because Philadelphians are just going to have to cross the bridge and travel a little bit. But it's nowhere. It's nothing. It's around the corner. Boardwalk Hall Arena. And you saw the numbers he did when he sold that place out, when he fought Romain Villiers. This is good business, y'all. And he's headlining the card now. He's not, once again, he's not on the undercard. See, the people that y'all were trying to compare him to, oh, well, Shakur Stevenson going to fight on the undercard. This fighter and that fighter, they're going to fight on the undercard. Well, maybe they have to fight on the undercard. And there's no knock or disrespect to those guys. My point is that that's not Boots' desire. In fact, if you look at Eddie Hearn as his promoter, that's not even Matchroom's synopsis and plan for Boots. No. When a fighter comes off of 2 back-to-back events, hometown or not, headlining, sell out those events, especially at an arena, not once but twice within 4 months, you don't put that fighter on an undercard in another country. It makes absolutely no sense unless there's a goal that's trying to be accomplished in the grand scheme of things, looking at the bigger picture. And Boots was being criticized for looking at the bigger picture. That's how you know 98% of the people on YouTube don't know the business of boxing. And he was going to fight Ortiz at 154 pounds. And then what y'all was going to expect him to do? Oh, man, he said he was going to unify the belts at 147. Y'all was going to expect Boots to move down, win, lose, or draw against Virgil Ortiz, which we know he was going to win anyway. But the point I'm making is he was going to have to move all the way down after that fight, back to 147. Come on, y'all. That makes no sense. I told you that then. And I'm going to tell you that now. And this is proof that it makes no sense because he stayed. He stayed in the division. And guess what? Now he's fighting to unify the title. That's good business. I know people get mad at Eddie Hearn and criticize some of the things that he says or some of the things that he has done. But I'm on record right now saying that Eddie Hearn, thus far, now remember, Boots only been with him for a year now. Literally a year. So far, Eddie Hearn has been doing a tremendous job with Jaron Boots Ennis as a promoter. Gotta give him his credit when it's due. He's doing a tremendous job with Boots as a promoter. You mean to tell me the promoter signed Boots in April? Somewhere around April. And within 90 days, he secured an arena for Boots in his hometown. And then 4 months after that, because the event was successful, he come back as a promoter and do it again? Come on, y'all. This is good business. When something's bad in the business, you know I speak on it. Y'all know that. When it's bad business, hey, I speak on it. And so when it's good business, I have to speak on it again and again and again. And I keep telling y'all this. You ain't going to find this nowhere else. That's why I'm glad you're here. Good representation in this business is priceless. And the representation that Boots have in Matchroom and others behind the scenes, they're doing a tremendous job. And now Boots will get an opportunity to do something inside of the ring to fulfill his dreams and accomplish his goals. And he is going to do that this weekend by becoming unified in the welterweight division. And also, and I'll leave you with this, go back and look at other interviews that I conducted on other people's platforms. I told you all when people were interviewing me, I told y'all this after the Romaine Villa fight in Atlantic City, New Jersey, in interviews. I said, Boots is going to take over the 147-pound division. He is the new era in boxing. Remember I told y'all, remember that? Some of y'all don't remember that. I told y'all even before that in interviews that Boots is not the future. He is the right now. You know what? I'm doing way too much talking, man. Don't take my word for it. Roll the tape.